And this is the same reason you're seeing other companies add accounting features, right? I think you're seeing it for two reasons. One, I saw a story that the global accounting software market, Blake, is going to double in the next 10 years. It's going to go from about $14 billion a year to $30 billion.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be over $30 billion in 2023. The largest market is North America, right? Interesting thing in this study that was from Brainy Insights, on-premise or on-site is still 58% of the revenue. Right? So then you wonder why all these startups are chasing, Intuit's, the Sage, the Oracles, Intuit. They're spending millions on conferences like SuiteWorld, and you're seeing millions of VC money flow into companies like Finally, right? And you're even seeing new GLs pop up, and it's just because there's so much money that's available in the next 10 years that they're all going for. And it explains why. I don't know if do you remember we talked about Teal before?
Yeah.
That's the former Bench founders. They started this like accounting as a platform. So apps in theory, just like how apps can add bill pay to their app now or banking to their app, well, they were going to offer kind of bookkeeping services to your app. So if I was, some app, I could add bookkeeping and accounting services to my company or my app. Well, Mercury Bank just bought them. So Mercury bought Teal. Teal just raised money a couple of months ago, $11 million. They didn't say how much they acquired them for, but essentially the one co-founder from Bench, he's now going to head the accountants division at Mercury. And it kind of makes sense, right? Because it's very easy now for the accounting platforms. The natural place to pay a bill is in the accounting system. The natural place to do a lot of stuff is in the accounting system. In theory, the natural place for banking might be in the accounting system eventually. So it makes sense that a bank, a small business bank, might want to try to add services for bookkeeping.
For bookkeeping?
Bookkeeping.
But the way that they think about this bookkeeping is really just expense categorization when you get down to it. With most of these companies, they're just categorizing your spend on your corporate card into the GL automatically. Who knows how accurate it is? And when it comes to actually doing real accrual accounting, they can't handle it. They can't do accruals and deferrals accurately. Nobody's figured out how to do that yet, even with AI. So I feel like all of these massive fundraising announcements that we see, it's just betting on the founders to figure it out. And like our live stream viewer, Madman Dan, said, at that level of seed money, I'd argue they'll eventually develop their own backend versus using Xero or QBO, which is always way harder than anyone imagines to build a GL. It's very, very difficult. There's so much complexity involved. And so the investors don't understand this and they bet on it. But any of us who have like worked in an accounting firm or done bookkeeping know that it's very, very difficult to standardize it all and to scale it. And that's why, even though accounting firms are great businesses and can grow 20, 30, 40, 50% a year under ideal circumstances, it's really hard to get the 2 to 3 times growth that you need to be a software business valued at a valuation that justifies these massive investments. So they miss the people part. It's still a very people-heavy business.